Hello, friends. Coach Selena here. I wanted to pop in quickly because there's something that I am hearing regularly in my decluttering circles that I hear from my clients. And I think it's something that we need to talk about because it is a stumbling block for a lot of people. That is, my partner is not on board with decluttering. My spouse doesn't want to get rid of things. I keep decluttering and my spouse fills things up. I clear a space and my kids just put more things on it. Okay, so first of all, I hear you. That's frustrating, right? Especially when you're learning a new skill set and you're like, okay, I can see how this is going to work. I'm really going to apply it. And uh, and then your family or your roommates or your spouse, your kids, your parents, whoever it is, are not on board to the same level that you are. So I totally get it, right? If you're frustrated about that, if that upsets you, it's absolutely valid. I'm not here to say that it doesn't matter because it does. But what I want to offer is this. We are all on our own journeys. Okay. So we can't force other people to do what we want them to do when we want them to do it. Okay. If the tables were turned and someone else was super excited about something and they wanted you to be on board and you weren't in that place yet, you probably wouldn't appreciate the pressure too much, right? But that is not to say that all hope is lost. Okay. So here's what I want you to think about. I want you to do something that we call stay in our own lane. Okay. We focus on our things, right? We can definitely focus on rooms that are shared with other people. Okay. But we can't make decisions about their things, right? So that's called having good boundaries. So we can definitely collect their things from shared spaces. If they have a bunch of stuff that's hanging around in the kitchen and they are not things that probably belong in the kitchen, you can definitely get a box, get a container, ask them to check in and remove those things, and then they can make a decision about it. But we can't force them to declutter their things, even if we think they're not worth keeping. So this can definitely be a point of friction in relationships. And I want you to stay the course because what I have seen time and again is that when we are intentional about our new skill sets and we are intentional about our new routines, the people in our lives start to notice, and sometimes it starts to rub off. Okay. So when I first started my decluttering journey, I tell this story all the time. The first thing I cleaned off was my dining room table. And it wasn't being used for meals. It was a horizontal surface. So it just like random things were gravitated to it. It was the drop zone for a lot of stuff. And when I first cleaned it off, it made me ridiculously happy. Like to the point where I probably looked a little crazy. I'm just like, every time I would walk by it, I would smile. I also may have like pet the table. I'd walk by and be like, oh my gosh, that's my dining room table. Oh, it's so beautiful. I can like see the top. And so my kids thought I was crazy, right? They're like, okay, and my kids are older, right? So they're 18 and almost 25 now. And they were a couple years younger, but they were like, okay, mom, you're losing your mind. Why on earth are you so excited about a clean dining room table? And so I challenged them. I said, okay, I want you to go to your bedrooms and pick one zone in your room, declutter it, and then come back and tell me how you feel. So my son in particular came up one night and he's trying not to smile, right? And he's kind of like biting the insides of your cheek. And he's like, okay, you know what? I got to admit it. I get it now. Like now I get it. So he had decluttered part of his bedroom, and every time he saw it, it just made him happy. He's like, okay, but I'm not petting things in my room. But yes, like I get the joy. I get the how it makes you happy. And so, is it a perfect adventure? No. Do my kids' rooms look, crazy and chaotic sometimes? Yes, they do. But that's their space. So I allow them autonomy. They get to choose how they live in that space. The only line that I draw is don't leave dirty dishes and food and that kind of stuff. Nothing that's going to attack critters, however else you keep your room. And eventually, I will tell you though, natural consequences happen. So if they can't find, like if my daughter can't find something that she wants to wear to school, that's going to encourage her to do her laundry, right? When my son couldn't find his wallet for work and he needs his pass card to be able to, log in, to log his hours for work, that was definitely a natural consequence. It encouraged him to reorganize the space to come up with one central area where after work he drops his wallet and his watch and yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to encourage you to stay the course. Okay. You may find that your family members eventually start pitching in or they start noticing, right? And I know that in my own family, praise works well. So if my kids do something that is helpful to me, if my spouse does something that I find really beneficial, I thank them. Okay. Even if it's something really minor, like thanks for putting your dishes in the dishwasher so they don't accumulate in the sink, right? Um, gratitude. Gratitude goes a long way, right? And it's not just important for the people that hear it, right? Because they feel valued. Focusing on gratitude for ourselves is absolutely a beneficial life skill. And I think I'll probably do a video on that sometime in the future, because gratitude practice is a big form of self-care for me. And it's also an antidote to stress, right? If I can remember my blessings, if I can remember what I'm grateful for, it does help me weather through some of the storms when things are chaotic and stressful. So that's what I want to leave you with today. Okay. Don't give up hope. If your family is not on board, if your spouse is not on board, if you're getting resistance, right? Focus on the things that serve you, your clothes, your nightstand, your bookshelf, okay? The inside of your car or your purse or your backpack. We have options of places and spaces that you can focus on just for you, okay? And keep doing the next right thing. Have a good day.